How's it going, everybody? So I just bought this sofabaton X1S remote. This is to replace my super old and aging Harmony 650. I've had this since college, so 12, 13 years now. Yeah, and it's pretty crazy. Like it's done a great job of holding up so far, and I still love it. And it's a great remote. But the buttons are getting a little sticky, or they're not, they require multiple presses. So figured it's time to try another one. Probably should have bought a replacement 650 back when they still sold them. But they don't anymore because Logitech is getting out of the business for some reason. I don't know why. They made great remotes, but this was $140 on sale, maybe. It's normally $190. You can get the cheaper one. Actually, there's a couple cheaper ones. You can get the U1, U2, which are super cheap. I don't really know what the difference is. They're a different shape of this, and I don't think they come with a hub. You can get those for like $50 or less on sale. You can get the X1, not the X1S, for on sale for like $89 normally, even though it's normally like $150. So, but it always gets knocked down more than the X1S. This was a lightning deal, so let's open it up. It's a big box. I wasn't expecting this, so we'll see how what we have here. In case you're wondering, I'm recording this on my Meta glasses because I got them for free from Verizon for signing up for home internet. Even though I had already signed up for it, they made me sign up for it again when I asked for a new modem. So that let me get the deal as well. So whatever, I'll take free Meta glasses. They're actually pretty cool. They're good for hands-free, like unboxing stuff. They are Ray-Bans, so that's pretty cool. Nice packaging, so good remote. It's typical basic colorless instruction package, but it looks like it's big enough for most people. Like the text is big enough. It looks like it's spread out enough that most people will be able to understand how to set it up, which is the goal. I know that was one of the things that people said was hard about this device was setup. So it's actually a really nice remote. Like, I like the way this feels. I don't know, it's lighter than the Harmony. I don't know if it's going to be as durable. I've obviously dropped this several times, not from a crazy height, but off the couch or in the blanket, and it just gets knocked on the floor. But this is also rechargeable, where the Harmony is not. I'm a little not super thrilled about that because it's going to limit the longevity of it. So like this one is not, like I said, not rechargeable, which means the battery never swelled, never got worse. So you can just keep putting in AA's. It chews through batteries, probably every 3 months you have to replace them. So, I mean, whatever, but this is rechargeable, as are most of the premium remotes now. Okay, so as you've seen, we have the remote, a quick access guide. I'm going to put the remote in there. We have our instruction manual there. Further in the box, we have a hub. I don't really know how this thing works, by the way. Like, I don't know. I'm assuming that that the remote can go into the hub, and then it can have a IR blaster, which is what these things are, into a media cabinet. I'm hoping I don't have to use that because, as you can see, which I think I will, because there's no infrared on this, so I don't even know. But as you can see, I have like a cabinet there, like with windows on it, so I don't know what the point of that is. That's going to be very annoying if that's the case, and it'll probably get returned. I did not realize there was no IR on it, but we'll confirm that. Try opening this. It's got tape on it, which is going to make it annoying to return. So you can see, here's what it looks like. It's just a pretty standard hub. Again, I don't really know how this works, but we'll get into that. Has a power brick for the hub. or for the for charging it maybe, actually, I don't really know. It has a USB-C. It has a bunch of IR blasters. So 3 IR blasters, which I guess maybe I could make work. Again, I'm not really thrilled about that. And then another USB-C to USB-A cable. So, and that's it. So you can see right here we have, and this is a double IR blaster. But so IR blaster, USB-C, USB-C, power brick, hub, and remote. So the difference in size between the two. So that was the, like I said, the Harmony 650. It's way longer. And I'd say not really, it is thicker. I was going to say not really thicker, but it's definitely thicker at one end. So you can see right there. So definitely more compact. This has no numbers though. So if you need numbers on the sofabaton, you're going to be out of luck on that. I don't think I've ever I've used them in a while. Now, both of these supposedly have wake to, or tilt to wake, which is really great on this feature, especially because this didn't have rechargeable batteries. So this one is a color screen, even though it doesn't look like it's a color screen. Yeah, there you go. It is a color screen. This one should be too. So let's power it up. So I figured we would try it. Hi, buddy. Who's a good boy? I figured we would try it underneath the TV because it says it'll bounce things off the wall. It also says it seems to say that it has the IR blasters in the hub. I don't think this is going to work, but it's worth a shot. And then afterwards, we'll have to figure out a way to get it plugged in so I can have the IR blasters in front of like the surround sound, the cable box, and the TV as well. Which will actually be nice though, if then we won't have to care about what your orientation of the remote is when you're trying to change channels. Why is this beeping? I didn't know it had a speakers. Definitely the remote beeping. That's super freaking loud. Maybe so you can find it? I wonder. I downloaded the app and it's telling me to set up the hub as such. And it is blinking, so blinking. Next. Is blinking. Next. Sure. Sure. It does seem to be that it's only 2.4 gigahertz, so if you can't split your bands, you're going to be disappointed. And it may not work very well, but so it is only 2.4 gigahertz, not 5. At least it didn't find my 5. So we can see that the hub actually works here. So I just searched for my TV style right there, and then in the app you can test it right there. So you can see power on, power off worked. Arrow down. I don't know if that's a thing. Back. Yep. It's pretty, whatchamacallit, pretty responsive. So that works. That's cool. Now it's downloading all the codes. That's not what I'm worried about, to be honest. I'm worried about the speakers. It's the stereo and the cable box, which are both in that little cubby over there to the right. And yeah. Okay, so I have the Technicolor, and as we see, it does not work. Obviously. So this is actually pretty long, this IR blaster. So we're gonna try it and see if we can plug it in the back of the hub and then have it go into that little cabinet. It's gonna be a pain in the butt, and maybe if I put it like in the front of it, I can get both. We're gonna try it. We're gonna try it. It's pretty easy setup though. If you know the brand and the model of all your devices, it seems to have a lot of them in here. Okay, so you can see here the IR blaster does work. I have it in here. I had the door closed. Really hot, by the way. Should probably do something else with that, but you can see trigger. It turned on. So that's the IR blaster right there. TV's back on. Now let's see if we can get it to reflect off the glass and down to the stereo, because then I'm done. I'll be perfect with that. The other option is you could put the hub somewhere totally different and then just have the IR blaster somewhere else. But again, the hub does have IR blasters in it, so you don't need it for the TV if you're going to do like I'm doing, putting it underneath the TV. Okay, I was able to find my really old Denon, which is a good sign. Let's see if it works. It does not. What if I open it? Interesting. So with it open, it does work. With it closed, nothing. Why does that work? Okay, so then the other options, there's two options that we have here. They have another IR blaster that I can plug in, which I might, just for the hell of it, so I don't have to do anything goofy. The other one you could think about is to try and like put it here, and hoping that it works. I'm gonna try that first. All right, hey Rocket, what are you doing, buddy? Who's a big boy? You trying to go get your toy? Are you trying to go get your toy? I don't know how well this will work, but so far so good. I mean, with it closed, I have it right there, and it's working. With it open, too. That's kind of impressive. Let's see about changing the channel, however. Oh, hang on. It's got to update the codes. Okay, so unfortunately, it doesn't work. It doesn't work when it's there, so I'm going to have to move it up here again and see what I can do. And then I'm going to have to use the secondary one, I think. I guess the other option would be to try and put it up on the door like this. That would actually work, but I have to get the cable all the way around. That's still not a bad choice. I'll try it. But it does not work for the cable box where it was, so that's why they give you two. Okay, so I got it to work for both. You can see it's doing the Denon. I guess that's the normal speed. I don't know. I had it way turned down with the knob. It also works with the door open, which is good. Okay, so mute that. And then the other one, so to get back to the Technicolor, the cable box, you just click the back arrow up top. And then, let's see, does it work? It does. So there you go. So both little IR blasters are here. They're actually one's just on the top, one's on the bottom, or one's on the top, one's on the bottom of the shelf. That worked perfectly. And like as it is right now, this is a fully functioning remote. It is not set up for activities yet, but it will control everything. I have to say, right off the bat, it's a little unintuitive. But maybe that's because I don't have any, any activity set up. So, like, what is, I guess it is. It's because I don't have any activity set up. But, like, the knob is what you use for this. And then this is for the devices. Everything below, I guess. So, like I said, just it takes a little learning curve. But let's set up activities. I think you do that from the app, which is pretty easy to download. And then this should work. Activities you handle through the app, like I was saying. So LG Technic. Yep. I guess there's another step there. So like right off the bat, so you do power buttons. Most of you guys are gonna have, and actually I don't really know about this one. I'd say most remotes are gonna have a single power key, but I don't remember what the cable box is. The cable box typically has the stupid power on, power off, but I'm gonna go with one power key and we're gonna test it. So test, that turned off the cable box, as you can see, and then test. Okay, so it actually it was working correctly. So separate power and on, so it had to be off. It had to be off for us to test it. So I know it wasn't working before. Now when we test it, you can hear it turn on. And there it goes. So just be mindful of that. If you have one that has the separate power button on and off, which I don't remember that Denon had that, because it's been years since I've seen the remote for that one. It will need to be off for you to test it to make sure it turns on. And it knew it was a separate power button. Like, it was by default to that based on the number that I put in for the device. So that was pretty cool. So say you wanted to make a activity like watch TV. I don't know. Input. See, I screwed that up. That's probably something you need to do. I don't care about voice buttons. Oh, I'm dumb. See, I'm rushing through this. That was for the activity. When it says source, make sure that you do tell it to change source. So that way, and that's something my old Harmony had to do as well. So like, make sure that you have it set so that it's always on the right input for the activity you want. So I think this for me would be HDMI 4, whereas my smart TV one is 2, where it links into my Raspberry Pi. Yeah, right? Yeah, you're a good boy. So don't overlook that step when you're adding the devices, but yeah, I mean, seems to work now. It's syncing. There you go. There's our wrongly named activity. You click it. I don't know what it does. Messes it up because I didn't change the source. But now what happens is, and that is because we didn't put. But now what happens is that you can now use the remote to do all of your activities. So it will know volume goes to the Denon. Channels changing goes to the Technicolor. Power on goes to the TV, you know, so you can have that in input also. And then if you're on the smart TV, it'll control the smart TV for that stuff. And if you don't have a cable box, channels will be channeled or changed through your TV as well. So that's what the remote does. I want to mess around with this some more and pretty it up, and we'll see where we get. Okay, so I've been using this for the better part of a week now, and I like it. It's definitely, I prefer the Harmony, but there's no option anymore. So as far as a successor goes, I think that the sofabaton does fit the bill. It does most of the same features. It required a little extra tweaking in the app, and I'll tell you what I mean. So basically, the on-off has been the issue I've found, specifically with the LG. You can fix that by doing commands, I think. I ended up getting it. I ended up fixing it. It was a little bit, buggy. Let's see. Where did I did something. Maybe it was on the activities. Yeah, okay. So for each activity, oh damn it, I didn't mean to do that. Well, you can see from the app you can control your TV and your setup too. That's the benefit of that hub. Although it turned the TV off that time. But anyways, startup settings. So you can set your settings, your inputs, and all that stuff. So it actually wasn't with turning on, it was with turning off. So I had to... Yeah, so see, like LG shut down, Technicolor shut down, Denon shut down LG, then I added this power. And I don't know why, but for some reason the shutdown didn't seem to work. Maybe I can change that. No, I can't. But You can set delays, you can set repeats. So like another thing I did was on, I believe the Denon specifically, and whether or not it made a significant difference, I don't know. I could have probably made it more, but you can do, I don't know where it is. Is it this one? No. I saw it earlier. Add or repair commands, maybe? There's a place where you can say repeat. Volume up, edit. Yeah, repeat 2 times. So I made it say 2 times. Like I'm one button click should make it do it twice or 3 times maybe. And it just makes it go faster. So like I noticed that was a bigger thing. Like it was super slow to change the volume on the Denon, which has a million different steps. I mean, it's a half a decibel or whatever. I think it's half a decibel per button. So like to get from very quiet to normal, it takes a long time. So I made it so that it would do double clicks every button. So that's a cool feature you can do. The only, once you get everything sorted out, with the, the power on, off, the input, all that stuff, which is all in the app. I mean, there might be instructions. I didn't really look at instructions. I just kind of figured it out. The only thing that I don't like is, or that I wish it had a different feature, that the Harmony did, is it had a help button. So if something didn't turn on or didn't turn off, you'd hit help, and then it would go through and say, did that turn on? Did that turn off? Et cetera, et cetera. And it would kind of walk you through the steps. This doesn't seem to have that. So you then have to go back and then go to the devices and then do them manually like that. So it's a minor inconvenience that you'll get to know as you use the remote, but I do wish it had a help button. And the other thing that I wish it had, not wish it had, but like different feature, these 2 buttons are like separate. So like this controls the screen, this controls the device. So like, yeah, I guess it makes sense. And I think I said this earlier in the video, it makes sense that I'm separate, but I find myself, trying to use the wheel to go up and down on the actual TV menu, and it doesn't work that way. So it would have been cool if it kind of had both, but I get it. I get that they had to separate the 2. But other than that, I mean, again, it's been a pretty good remote for the week I've tried it. $140 on sale, which is a lot, but it's pales in comparison to what even the Harmonies cost back when they still sold them. Now, if you look at them, they're $500 for a used one because they're just so in demand. Not necessarily this one, but the Harmony Elite or whatever. But either way, I mean, so far I definitely recommend it if you need another universal remote. You don't really have many options. I can't say that the X1S is better than the X1. People said it had some better quality buttons. They said it had a color screen where the X1 didn't, but to the best of my knowledge, the X1 does have a color screen, so I don't know. Then they sell the U1 and U2, which are definitely cheaper. I don't know if those ones didn't have Wi-Fi and that was the difference, which might be the case. But they were significantly cheaper. You can get those for $35. So I mean, sofabaton as a whole, like, I've only had it for a week and I haven't dropped it yet, so we'll see how durable it is. I mean, this thing is solid and I've dropped it a lot. This feels lighter, but, we'll see. Okay, so I've been using this remote for maybe a month and a half now, and it has definitely got some benefits and some negatives. So basically what I said in the previous part of the review all holds true. The benefits are great, and I've still been using it for a month and a half. I have not gone back to the Harmony that had the sticking buttons. So responsiveness of this is great. I like the battery life. Again, I haven't charged it at all, so it started not even full, and now it's got whatever yellow, but still it's fine. I mean, if I can get 4 or 5 months out of a charge, that's great. The wake to wake or tilt to wake is awesome. The menus are still a bit clunky. I don't really like that there's a ball for the options up here. I often get not, I guess, confused or something, but I'll often still use the ring when trying to select that top screen. But the biggest issues that I have so far are things like this pause play button. It's one button, so like my TV for some reason has a pause and a play. It's an LG, or I'm assuming it does. I don't know. The Harmony had a pause and a play, separate buttons. This doesn't really work, so I don't know if there's a way to fix it. I've messed around with it, but if you hit pause play once, it'll pause it, and then if you hit pause play again, it'll pause it again. So I actually set a long press to make it so that it hits play. So I have to do pause, and then if I want to hit play again, I just hold it a little longer and it'll do play. It's not perfect. The other negative so far is switching between activities. So like normally I usually don't watch TV, period. So it's not really much of an issue with me, but there are occasional times, like during, say, football, where I will watch TV and then I want to switch over to my smart TV. And so what that does is it gives control to the TV instead of the cable box. So these work fine individually. So like from off, if I click watch TV, works perfectly. From off, if I click smart TV, works perfectly. But if I'm switching between the two, the issue I'm having now is that it'll turn the TV off in the process of switching between the two, because the command, it doesn't seem to have a memory of what command has issued since the last time I hit the off button. So like the Harmony kind of knew, which also caused issues if things like if the TV went into sleep mode or something like that, then you'd have to go through the help. But the Harmony kind of knew, say, okay, well, since the power button's been on, they haven't turned off the TV, so there's no need to turn it back on again. So it would then just exclude that step from the process. I haven't figured out a way to do that with this. I don't know if there is a way to do that with this. And obviously, if somebody knows and can let me know in the comment, that'll be gratefully appreciated. But so far, those are the only two real issues I have. Like I said, I'm still using it. This is my remote now. I think a Harmony is definitely better. There's no question about it. But again, the Harmony is discontinued. The one I had lasted me 13 years. So can't complain. Been a great remote. But now the buttons are sticking. They've been sticking for like 2.5 years, and I just dealt with it. But since there really is no other alternative, unless you want to go and spend money on a refurb or an old or a used, or there might be some new Harmonies that are like $500 still left over from years ago, this is really your only option right now. And it's not bad. Like I said, if you can deal with those two issues I've mentioned, those are really the only issues that I've had with it. Yeah, that's really it. And there are these special buttons at the bottom that you can assign, so I may just end up assigning one of these as play, and that will solve that issue. And the other thing that I might do up here, which is really clunky and annoying, and I really hope that they fix this or they can help me figure out the best way to do it, is I may just make an activity here that's switched between the two. So, like start TV, start smart TV, and then just do like switch TV, switch smart TV, something like that, which excludes the power on off step. So I don't know. I might be able to do that to fix the problem, but again, they're not big enough issues for me to have returned the remote. I got it on a pretty good deal for Prime deal days. I'm sure on Black Friday this will be on sale. I think I ended up paying all in, like after all discounts and coupon codes, I think I ended up paying like $135. Although I'm sure I said it at the beginning of the video. But off the top of my head, I think that's about what I paid for it. So don't get fooled by them increasing the prices, to $250 and then dropping it down to $180 if that's what they do, because that's not a deal. But $135, $140, I think that's fine. And the hub has worked great. The hub has worked great through all this. So like literally the only two issues I have are with the UI, really. Switching from one activity to another and pause play. I would say there's a little minor issues, the volume for some reason, and I don't understand why this would be the case, but for some reason it does seem to make my Denon receiver, the volume changes very slowly. So like, I don't know why, but that seems to be another issue. But I don't know whose fault that is. The remote to that. It still has the input going into the controller, but what it might be is it might be one step versus multiple steps on the old remote, but I haven't really looked into that. So, but other than those issues, and again, the volume one is not really that important, but the other two are definitely noticeable. And again, they're still not deal breakers for me. But other than those, I think this is a pretty darn good remote, especially for the price, given that the Harmony is no longer being made. So, yeah, I hope you liked the review, guys. I hope you like the setup. If it helped you at all, or if you have any questions or comments, be sure to like, comment, and then, if you like seeing videos like this, be sure to subscribe. Thanks, guys.